Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Ventura Securities, I welcome you all to the Satya Industries conference call. As a reminder, all participants will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then zero on your touchtone telephone. Please note, this conference is recorded. I would now like to hand over the floor to Mr. Vinit Bolinchkar from Ventura Securities. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Good evening, everyone. Today we have with us the senior management team of Satya Industries, including Mr. R.K. Bhandari, the Joint Managing Director, Mr. Chirag Satya, who is the Executive Director, and Mr. Indrajit Monga, who is the Chief Financial Officer, who will be presenting the Q4 FY21 and the full year FY21 results. I would now like to hand over the call to Mr. R.K. Bhandari for the initial comments. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, everybody. Good afternoon. I'll just first hand over to Mr. Indra Monga, who will be just making a statement.
Good evening to all the participants, and we thank Ventura Securities and Mr. Vinit for organizing and hosting our Quarter 4 and yearly business update conference call. Before the call, we would like to point out that certain statements in today's call may be forward-looking, which are based on the currently held beliefs, reasonable assumptions, and probable risk factors considered by the management. Unless otherwise indicated, the information contained herein is preliminary indicated, and it's based on the management information, current plan, and estimates. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Rajendra Kumar Bhandari, our Joint Managing Director, for the opening remarks. Over to you, sir.
Good afternoon, everybody. Recently, I had a call with somebody, and he asked me what is DNA or what is the philosophy of your company. So I would say in a few lines that our chairman quoted once he was getting interviewed. He said, once you start building a business, it is like planting a tree. You feed it and work on it daily, so you grow to love it with time. This is like my first child. I like to call it that. So, पेटिया में जो business है, इसको we consider that कि जैसे अपने बच्चे को संभालते हैं ऐसे ही शुरू से संभाला है. So I would like to give a brief of the company as well. We started our operations in 1985 with just one paper machine with the capacity to make 15-ton paper only per day. So today we are making almost 400-ton plus paper every day with 3 paper machines. And to supply pulp to these paper machines, we have fully integrated pulping facility where we make 200-ton agro-residue pulp using wheat straw, then 120-ton wood pulp using eucalyptus wood and veneer waste, and we have 80-ton peeling pulp facility also. And while cooking the wheat straw or wood, we need caustic soda, which we use almost 120 tons per day. And in this process, we get the most difficult effluent in paper industry called black lignin, and that is treated and burnt in the soda recovery boiler. And in this soda recovery boiler, we are able to recover almost 92 to 95% of caustic soda, which is almost 110 tons per day. Costing 30,000 per ton means almost 35 to 40 lakhs per day, and almost 12 crore and 144 crore every month and a year. So you can imagine that kind of saving that we get from the waste itself, and we burn the total waste also. This is a good example of waste to wealth. So, and the steam that we get from this boiler, we use it in the turbine house, our powerhouse, which we use to make power. So then we have in paper, we require almost 1200 units per ton to make 1 ton of paper, and this total our present requirement is made in-house. We are using almost 5 lakh units of power per day, and if we had to buy this from a electricity board, it would cost us anywhere around rupees 8 per unit, but our cost comes anywhere around 2 to 2.5 rupee a unit. So we save almost per ton 6 to 7,000 rupee in minimum is the saving. So these two, soda recovery and own power generation, are the major segments, backward integration segment, which lead to cost saving and the ultimate results that we get. Similarly, in this power generation boilers, we are using the rice as a fuel, and recently we have done one boiler which will be based on rice straw only, which farmers, you all know, they used to burn in the field. We have purchased 1 lakh ton rice straw last year, which would have been otherwise burnt in the field. To us, it is saving of the environment also on one hand. To us, it is leading to almost 50% saving in our fuel cost also. And by virtue of burning this rice husk and rice straw, we are getting REC income also regularly, which is anywhere between 7 to 10 crore every year. But now, of course, it is under litigation, and from June onwards, there is no trading on the exchange. So you must be aware of that. And side by side, in this segment, power segment, we get 80 IEA income tax benefit also for almost 10 years. So as a result, our total tax liability is anywhere around 21 to 22%. So we have 3 machines, fully integrated pulp, soda recovery, power, and after treating the effluent, we are not polluting any water body, any river. We are not discharging water into those water bodies. We are discharging total water into eucalyptus plantation of 540 acres, which gives us, in the long run, when we sell these plants, we get agriculture tax-free income also, number one. Then it supplements our requirement of eucalyptus wood also. So that gives us twofold advantage. So Sathya has been working a lot on energy conservation also, because paper industry is high power consuming industry and has been designated so by Bureau of Energy Efficiency, Ministry of Government of India. So इसमें for the last 2 years, financial year 2018-19 and 19-20, PIDA, the Punjab State Energy Development Agency, they have declared that first prize in energy conservation has been given for these 2 years to Sathya Industries, which is because we achieved the target and rather overdid that and earned PAT, which is the perform, achieve and trade, where you get income also by selling those PAT numbers on the power exchange again. In this bad COVID time, Sathya has been coming to the help of the humanity also. Our chairman, he is very active these days. He recently started a shutdown, a plant, oxygen plant, which was lying shut down since December 2012. And our team, we technically and financially supported the local administration fully. And within a period of almost 10 days, we started that plant, and that plant is today giving 300 cylinders of oxygen to different hospitals in Punjab on daily basis. So only today we have located another oxygen generating plant from Sangrur, which we are going to start maybe another within next 7 to 10 days, which will be supplying oxygen directly to one of the big hospitals locally. So this is how we have been going with our present business. And telling some in brief about our expansion plans, we are putting up a new paper machine and backward activity, integration activity, all we are increasing our star pulping, wood pulping, 14 megawatt power turbine is coming, recovery has already been upgraded. So this expansion will most probably come into production by September to October only. Earlier form target was September, but this COVID onslaught, most of the labor, contractor labor, they have gone back to their places. So if everything normalizes by maybe mid-June, so we hope at the most we should be able to run, if not in September, then latest by October, the plant should start. And side by side, we are going into molded fiber cutlery also with a capacity of 2,000 tons, which will be adding almost 50 crore to our top line and almost 10 crore to our bottom line also. So just to give you an idea of how Sathya has been progressing in 2011 to 2020, in 10 years, in 2011 we were producing just 60,000 tons. And in 2020 we were producing 134,000 tons. And in 2023, financial year 2023, our target is to produce 240,000 tons of paper. Similarly, sales in 2011 we were 232 crore, 2020 we were 800 crore plus, and in financial year 23 we target 1,500 crore. Profit was 5.23 crore in 11 and 91 crore PAT was in 2020 and 2023 at 12%. We expect 180 crore profit. EBITDA in 2020 was 174 crore, and 2023 we expect almost 360 crore. So we have been performing, we have been achieving the desired results, and despite difficulties in COVID year of 2021, we have given the results that which are well before you. And I am certain that under the leadership of Dr. Ajay Sathya, who is one of the most dynamic promoters, giving a lot of time to his industry, like giving time to his baby. So we should be achieving the results that we are promising you today. So I'll hand over the call to the son of Dr. Ajay Sathya, who is now holding finance, administration, and all IT improvisation that we are doing. He'll give you a brief on that financial. Yeah, thank you.
Good evening, everybody. I will just run you through the brief highlights of the performance for quarter 4, financial year 21 and financial year 21 in full. Despite COVID restrictions, our business continues to see persistent traction from state textbook boards and open markets. We have been able to record a further growth in production level of 35,488 metric tons in quarter 4 as compared to production of 31,423 metric tons in quarter 3 of financial year 21. Our sustained and healthy relationships with state textbook board corporations has helped us secure order at a gross realizations of 67,000 per ton. Higher production was in line with the healthy growth in sales volume, also from 32,125 tons in quarter 3 to 33,654 tons in quarter 4. Our continuation of robust order book status as shared in SI's earlier quarterly updates. We have orders in hand from Chhattisgarh, West Bengal, Rajasthan, Andhra Pradesh, besides open market orders at a price realization better than quarter 4 financial year 21. Income from operations has stood at 172 crores for quarter 4 and 588 crores for the entire financial year ending 21. Average realizations for sales has been 49,000 rupees per ton net realization. EBITDA margins, EBITDA has stood at 136 crores for the entire financial year and 47 crores for quarter 4. We have expanded our EBITDA margins by 2% from the previous year. Profit after tax stands at 49.5 crores for the entire year, and cash flow from operations at 153 crores. Current assets and fixed assets stand at 239 crores and 672 crores, while long-term borrowings only are at 277 crores. Thus, we have substantially reduced our finance cost also. Parallelly, we had made sure that our 500 crore expansion plan is not impacted by or deferred by due to COVID scenarios. We expect our additional capacity of 1 lakh per metric ton per annum to commence operations latest by October or November, as Bhandari just said. But considering the second wave of pandemic, we expect a small delay from September. A total of 352 crores has been spent on the development of the new projects as on date, out of which 230 crores is from banks and 120 crores is financed from our internal accruals. We request to review our detailed earnings update available on our website and the exchanges. And now I would like to open the floor for any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now begin the question and answer session. If you have a question, please press star and 1 on your telephone keypad and wait for your turn to ask the question. If you would like to withdraw your request, you may do so by pressing star and 1 again. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have a question, please press star and 1 on your telephone keypad. So first question comes from Agastya Dave from CAO Capital. Please go ahead.
Hello, Mr. Bhandari. Hello, Chirag. Congratulations, pretty
Good evening.
decent numbers. Sir, just general questions on how are the realizations shaping up now? There was last time when I had a conversation with you, there was an uptrend in the realizations in the market, but subsequently second wave of COVID has come in. So, what's your sense on realization as of now and going forward for the next couple of quarters? And another question on your raw material costs, sir, for the quarter. So I believe because of the changes that you're making, there will obviously be some benefits. But on a like-to-like basis, how do you see raw material inflation for your company?
As far as price realization is concerned, last year average, you all know, it was anywhere around 58,000 rupee a ton, while in the last quarter of last financial year 2021, it was near 50,000 per ton on average basis. So, because whenever we are in any month, we are having almost 30 to 60 days orders in hand. So for the first 2 months of April and May, we expect our realization will remain on the higher side, because presently we are not affected by the COVID, because we are executing market orders and government orders already in hand. But definitely the price has already started moving down in the open market for new orders, which is already on the lower side by minimum 10% and may further go down by another 5 to 10% if this situation continues for another month or so. But if schools and colleges government opens in by 1st July, then I think the prices, as they came up very fast in 10 days, we came from an average price realization of 40 to 45,000 to almost 60 to 65,000 rupee a ton. Because nobody was having stock with them, the same phenomena is happening at this moment also. So people are consuming whatever paper they had in hand. So once the economy opens, everybody wants paper, which is difficult to get at that point of time. So for 2 months we are safe, and we have done certain bidding also, one of the major tender. And if we get that price for another month also, our price realization will be even better than the last quarter, which is 50,000 rupee a ton. But from there onwards, we have to be with the open market. So whatever prices come, so we'll have that. So regarding your second question, the price, agro-based raw material, if we look at the price over the last year, it was lower on average by almost 25%. And the wood prices, they were lower by almost 10%. And the third major saving that we had, that was in the fuel. Last year, it was cheaper by almost 25 to 27%. So this year in fuel, we may be having further savings because we have, as I told earlier, we are purchasing Rightstar, which is bought at almost 1,500 rupee a ton against an average price of 3,000 rupee per husk in the last year. So whatever we lose on the price realization, so we try to cover how economically we can buy our raw material, our fuel and other chemicals, which definitely reduce by virtue of so many mills closing down for not having orders or not having the viability to sustain operations. So that is what we have seen in the last financial year. But definitely we have come out strong in the old period and hope to do the same in the coming year also. Thank you.
Right. Sir, one last question. All the savings that you will have, so they're also volume dependent, right? So if I assume that on the expanded capacity, you will obviously one day operate at 100% capacity utilization. So at those levels, can you give some idea about the actual cost that you'll be incurring in terms of chemicals and in terms of raw materials? What's a good assumption to take at full capacity utilization?
You want to know the cost of chemicals and fuel?
Yeah, all the major costs are where you are making savings. So power, chemical, and raw material costs. So if I assume that you will operate at 100%
raw material and chemical is anywhere between 40 to 45%. Presently, it is almost 42%. But since we will be using more of wood in the expanded capacity, so it may go up to 45 to 50% because we are upgrading our wood pulping capacity from 120 to 300 tons. But definitely that gain will come to us in the price realization, which will be on the higher side for that product. So similarly, if we look at the power consumption and fuel that we have, the total for that is almost 10% of the 10 to 15% of the total cost. If we use Rightstar this year in the 21-22, it may come anywhere near 11 to 12%. Last year it was almost 13 to 13.5%. So that is likely to continue. Yes.
Right. And the chemicals? Chemical you have included in raw materials.
Chemicals are included in the raw material. If my raw material cost is almost 60%, then 40% is, if raw material is 12,000 a ton, the chemical is almost 8,000 to 9,000 rupee a ton. Yeah.
Right, sir. Thank you very much, sir. All the best for the coming quarters, sir. Good luck, sir. Stay safe.
Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you, sir. Next question comes from Vineet Mittal, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Hope you all are doing good. So my question is, we have added a very good capacity. So what's the current utilization as of now, the machinery? That's the first question, sir.
Supply, status of the supply.
Sir, we have not yet commissioned our additional capacity. The project is still under implementation.
Right. No, sir. So there was some addition last year also. I might be confused. So currently all our machines are running at 90%, over 90% utilization.
No. Our machines were earlier running at almost 125% plus capacity. Even in the COVID period, with almost 26 to 27 days shutdown period in the month of April, our production was 1,20,000 tons against our installed capacity of 1,05,000 tons. So we were doing almost still 16% plus capacity. So we have been fully utilizing our present capacity. We have been, in normal times, we are always short on supply. Yeah.
Okay, sir. So once this new facility comes online, I guess in October and on November, so what's the time when they start contributing to the full 100% capacity?
Yeah, we expect minimum 1 quarter number to the total production in the current financial year minimum. That is what we presume. In the last quarter, we should be running it at almost full capacity because the machinery supplier, he has to hand over the machine to us after commissioning at the designated speed at which the machine has to run. Like if it has to run at 1000 meters per minute, he will commission the machine at 1000 meters per minute and hand it over to us after running it continuously for 1 month. So even if we start commissioning the machine by end October or November, and I am being conservative that we will be giving minimum 30,000, 3 months production, which will be anywhere around 10,000 to 12,000 ton of production, and against our past capacity, which is almost 1,35,000 ton, we presume that we should be achieving 1,50,000 ton of paper in financial year 22. That is our target, and in financial year 23, we intend to do almost 240,000 ton of paper and minimum 2,000 ton plus of cutlery. Cutlery we will give minimum 1,000 ton in this year also, which will add to the top line almost 35 crore. And that is why I said that next year our numbers will be anywhere, top line we should be anywhere near 1,500 crore if the realization is anywhere near 60 rupee a kg.
Okay. So, sir,
Yeah.
My question is to you is, in the last quarter, right, in the Q3 one, where we had a very good savings from the raw material and everything, still the realization was around 40, right? So we were anyway profitable, but does our competitor goes into loss while running the, having the realization of 40, 45 per ton?
If we look at our peers, which are, I would say, if you look at the West Coast, which is a much stronger unit as seen by the market. So our operating profit ratio in the first 6 months of the last year was almost 15%. And their operating margin was on the negative side. So our PAT margins were 9% and there were minus 9.76. Even JK was 3.26% and we were 9.15% in the 6 months of the last financial year. So similarly for 12 months also, our results were much better than our peers. While people who are reporting negative numbers, I am talking of the best in the industry. JK and West Coast, and these are considered to be one of the best mills. And even if you look at the 12-month numbers, our PAT was almost 2.58 and West Coast was minus 0.239 and JK was on the positive side, 8.6%, because they have board in their production line. They have copier, which is a major product, which is different from our product profile presently. Plus, they have board also. They have coated board also in their line. So, which was having no issues as far as production is concerned. So, other peers, if we take the name Quantum and other those mills, so we were doing much better than any of these mills. I won't, if you want the numbers, I can give you, but I think you can have it from the company there.
Yeah, sir. So, sir, since we are doing the capex for last couple of years also, and we also have signed a very good deal with Zumi. So, what's the understanding we have with Zumi? Because in the last earnings call, you informed us that they are willing to take entire facility of for the cutlery.
Yeah.
But we see we can get a good realization in Indian market. That's why we are not willing to commit. So, what's the picture and what's the management forecast for this cutlery expansion?
Yeah, in the cutlery segment, as I explained earlier, that we are in a win-win position cost-wise because we have in-house pulping already with us. We don't need much infrastructure for that. Secondly, we have the surplus power with us, which is used for drying the pulp in the mold for making any tray or whatever, for pizza tray or any food tray. And these are the two major constraints of the product cost input है दोनों ही हमारे पास they are very very cheap available with us, number one. So secondly, since Zoom is having their own patented designs for different customers in India also, Swiggy and Zomato, and overseas also. So they are selling those products at slightly higher price. Like if in Indian market the product is sold at 150 to 200 rupee a kg, these patented products which give certain value to the deliverables and saving to the packaging product by virtue of lesser weight and stronger product. So they get higher price for that, which they have promised to us that they have certain products which they sell at even rupees 300 plus a kg. So, but at the same time, we are open to sales in Indian market in the agreement that freedom has been given to us. If we get better opportunity in Indian market on our own also, we can go there. Otherwise, they are promising and they have entered, they are giving guarantees that they will lift 100% product, whatever we produce. So, if we earn higher price, so our EBITDA is definitely going to be on the higher side. So, that is the reason for entering with them. They are already outsourcing their products from China, Malaysia, Taiwan, Thailand, and in India, they have presently associated with us. Yeah, so we are going to first use their marketing strength there, yes.
Okay, sir. So, since we are in a win-win situation, so we are good. Yes,
yeah.
And finally, since the paper industry is a very ESG, so the ESG rating for the paper industry as a whole is very bad because we consume the power which is generally not produced with the power. With the renewables, and the second thing, the polluting. Since Sathya, our company has a very good footing on both these fronts. We produce our in-house power and we don't pollute any water bodies. So are we planning to apply for the ESG ratings? Because since now every day everyone is talking about ESG ratings.
Yeah, we are in talks with engaging an ESG consultant. And shortly we may be coming up with information on this. But definitely we are working on this because the one thing that you missed out is that our raw material is also sustainable and renewable. We are using agriculture waste, we are using veneer waste, and whatever wood we use, we either plant eucalyptus trees more than that, and we encourage farmers to do that plantation. It has become almost agroforestry only now. And Sathya has been into this environment consciousness much before this. Under even this Kyoto Protocol, we had one of our projects registered as long back, if remember exactly, was 95 or what year, when we sold CER, carbon emission reduction, at almost 12.5 per phone to Cargill of UK continuously for 6-7 years. So even today we have surplus VRC, that's voluntary emission reductions, which are almost 1 lakh, and we are selling them to certain European industries, and we are getting good price also. So $8 ही है, but still we are earning REC again by saving on environment. We are earning PAT numbers for saving on energy consumption. So we are already saving carbon emission by way of sequestration by wood plantation. So Sathya has been a lot into environmental awareness and saving. Our carbon footprints are very, very low. So definitely we are in this year only planning to engage some ESG consultants. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So all the best, and hope you all guys stay safe. Thank you for answering my answer.
Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you, sir. Next question comes from Anil Kumar Sharma, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Thank you, sir. First of all, congratulations for the good numbers. Sir, at the full capacity in 23, you are saying you will be, your sales will be 15,100 crores, and net margin will be, what is your net margins, and what will be the EBITDA margins?
Yeah. So we are targeting the PAT margins of roughly 10 to 12% even in the coming years. So our target by financial year 2023 is a projected top line of roughly 1,500 CR, yes, and a profit of 180 CR of PAT against that. That means an EBITDA of roughly 300 to 350 crores per plus.
And net profit will be 180 crores.
Yes, profit after tax roughly 180 to 200 crores.
All right. And after that, we are having any expansion, further expansion plan is also there, or we are, that's all for the time being?
It is too early to announce any further expansion plans from here right now, because we will be reaching our optimal capacity with the project by 2023. So after that, yes, once the cash flow is stable and we are confident about lowering our leverages again, and after 1 year of reductions of debt, yes, the company will definitely think of further upgradations and expansions as per the scenario of the market then, in whichever segment most profitable.
Right. Right. So are we planning in the board segment also?
Nothing as of now, sir.
And sir, last question, and what do you expect the debt level, long-term debts and total debt, net debt at 2023?
The total outstanding long-term debt will be maximum roughly between 300 to 350 crores.
By end of March 23, you are talking
yes,
about?
Yes, you can take a ballpark figure of 350 crores by end of March 2023.
All right.
Long-term debt.
Thanks a lot, sir. We are for. Thank you. And best wishes.
Thank you, sir. Next question comes from Rishabh Agnihotri, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hello, sir. Congratulations on the stellar quarter you have scored. My question is more on the Zoom partnership. You just mentioned that there's a distribution strategy obviously across the global market, and in the local market, it's more towards Swiggy and Zomato. Can you talk a little bit more about that distribution strategy in the local market, considering these two big conglomerates are also poised to grow, and the growth margins are amazing. So if you can talk a little bit more and how it would contribute to the top line and bottom line, I would be more interested to know about that.
Yeah, actually between these two, Swiggy and Zomato, their order booking is almost 3 million per day. So they need the food packages for that. Besides this market, Zoom is having lot of exposure in international pizza market where, as I was talking today, they have their patents, and in those patented designs, they see if from their pizza truck, the delivery to the household person is within 5 to 6 minutes. So in that period, how much steam comes out of the pizza, how much oil secretion will be there, and how to maintain the freshness of the food product, all those factors, all that nitty-gritty is done in that research. And after that, they have developed those designs. So which is the reason that they are able to get a higher price for that, number one. And already they are in advanced talk with both Zomato and Swiggy and certain other players. Even they are going into these mobile phone packaging where you see plastic or styrofoam packaging. So the idea is to whatever segment, even in medicine or wherever you can go and replace that. So that is the funda, and that is where they are doing their research and designing better and better products in each of the segments. So with our capacity presently, since we are installing just 2 machines to start with and to have a feel of this business, these 2 machines are having a capacity to make almost 6 tons per day of cutlery or any product that we wish to make. So our numbers will be almost on conservative side, because we do not have experience in this line, be anywhere near 2,000 tons at full capacity. And 2,000 ton capacity ke saath we think our top line should be anywhere between 50 to 60 crore, and EBITDA that we expect in this segment is anywhere near minimum 40%, and PAT margin of almost 20%.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you for answering my questions. Best of luck for the quarter ahead, and stay safe.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Next question comes from Mr. Vinit Bolinchkar from Ventura Securities. Please go ahead, sir. So there is no response. Next, we have a follow-up question from Agastya Dave from CAO Capital. Please go ahead.
Sir, in your opinion, which segments are going to do well, and do you expect any delta in operating margins because of the huge demand that we are seeing for paper in our country?
Actually, in the paper and paperboard business, the biggest is the packaging section, which is 50% of the total demand. And this is the segment which is growing at one of the best rates if we look at the overall picture. And then is the writing and printing, which is almost 30%. On average, it is growing at almost 5%. But within the packaging, अभी जो shift हुआ है, उसमें ये है कि भाई when you are making writing and printing paper, simultaneously we are making copier paper also, which will be the major product in the new production, which will be almost 50% of the total production. So that segment is growing anywhere between 8 to 10%. Second major product that we have already introduced we have already introduced copier also on our old machine, and we have already introduced paper cup stock, which I have been talking earlier also. That segment is growing at almost 12 to 13%. We all get paper cups only these days for hot tea or cold drinks at the airport, anywhere we go. We don't get plastic cups now. So while expanding, we are taking care that we have a product profile where the growth is minimum 10 to 12%, which is where both in case of copier paper, number one, and then upstock paper, then high-end printing also. Lot of printing business is coming to India. You must be aware that internationally, India is now a hub for printing books. So almost, so that business is growing at a very, very fast pace. So quality sells, and the new machine, we will be making quality, and there should not be any issue making that, and that should be giving us much higher margins also, because all these products, their price realization is almost 20% higher than the price realization that we get from our present product line. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have a follow-up question from Agastya Dave from CAO Capital. Please go ahead.
Sir, my question was answered. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yeah. So that would be the last question for the day. Now I hand over the floor to Mr. R.K. Bhandari for closing comments.
Thank you so much, everyone, for your presence. We look forward to having you again on the next phone call for the Q1, and we hope all of us stay in good health, and wishing you all the very best during this pandemic. God bless you all with good health. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes your conference for today. Thank you for your participation and for using Dur Sabha's conference call service. You may disconnect your lines now. Thank you and have a pleasant evening.